Hello, welcome to today's edition of the special World Cup edition of Inside with Bolu at Tony Shola. Finally, Africa broke the jinx of not scoring at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar after Ghana scored 2 goals against Portugal, even though they ended up losing that game. But let's start from the Group G games. Switzerland defeated Cameroon by a lone goal 1-0. Well, I thought there were just maybe 1 or 2 mistakes from Ghana, from Cameroon. They were not clinical enough. They had enough chances to have scored 2-3 goals at halftime, but their final decisions, their last balls, were one of the things that killed them in that game. And guess who scored the only goal for Switzerland? The Cameroonian born and Bodo, whose father still resides in Cameroon. Well, like they say, anything can happen in the game of football. But to the other game in the group saw Brazil defeat Serbia by 2-0. That was a beautiful game. Brazil dominated from the get-go, and Serbia showed the resilience, they showed solidness in defense. But again, the Brazilian firing power was just too much for them to stop. Even the first goal in the game, good quick feed from Neymar Jr. Vinicius took the shot away from him. And Richarlison, who has scored in only 1 game this season, got the first goal for Brazil, and he scored the second goal. As of now, that's definitely the best goal at this tournament in Qatar, and it's definitely a contender for the goal of the tournament. And to Group H games, well, the first game ended in a draw between Uruguay and South Korea, where we saw 5 Kims, 2 Songs, 2 Hwangs, beautiful names from South Koreans there, but it was well dominated by Uruguay. But domination without scoring a goal meant nothing. And I think Darwin Núñez was a culprit for 1 or 2 of the chances they had in that game. But you have to give credit to the South Koreans for doing so well. They were not scared. They also attacked when they had enough chances to go forward. But you have to give credit to the young Facundo Pelestri, the young Manchester United midfielder, who did so well in that game. But let's move to the games for today. Match day 1 fixtures are gone. Now teams are starting to know their fates one by one. I will start from games in Group A, where Ecuador, who won their first game 2-0, will take on the Netherlands, who also won their first game 2-0. On paper, you want to pick Netherlands as favorites for this game. But remember, the way Ecuador played in the first game, they dominated very well. Whereas Netherlands struggled at first, especially in the first half against Senegal. Netherlands, we are not sure how fit Enner Valencia will be in this game. Remember, he put up maybe a little knock in the last game. If he's fit to play this game, alongside with Mikel Estrada, who leaps very well, I think they could do well against the Netherlands. On paper, you want to take the Netherlands to go through, and I believe Memphis Depay should do enough to start this game after coming on from the bench in the first game due to his 100% fitness. I think he should do enough to start this game. This looks like a game that could end in a draw, maybe a score draw between both sides, or who knows, the Netherlands may just edge this one. But for the other game between Qatar and Senegal, the loser in this game, you are almost out of the tournament. The winner has the chance of progressing to the next round. Senegal, like we said, without Sadio Mane, they feel a bit of an average side. And Qatar, what we expected them to display, they showed it in the second half. Unfortunately, they still couldn't get a goal against Ecuador. This is a game between 2 sides who lost 2-0 in their first game. 2 sides who have a point to prove. 2 sides who want to win. 2 sides who need a point. The last time it felt like this against an African side in the last World Cup, that was Egypt against a poor in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and they lost that game. Now we are probably faced with the same scenario, a nation and an African side. I don't think Senegal will walk past Qatar. Maybe they could force a draw. They can end up still winning the game, but I don't think it's going to be an easy job for them because Qatar have a point to prove. Let's move to Group B, where there's a world battle on one side, and there's also a fixture between the Welsh side, Wales, and Iran. Iran were thrashed in their first game 6-2 by the 3 Lions, and Wales played a 1-1 draw with USA. Wales are definitely a better side on paper on everything here. They did more of defending in the first half of the game against USA, having Gareth Bale coming to defense to the slide to get balls. This time around, they need him up front. You need Gareth Bale facing your attack, facing your position, not defending for you. If Gareth Bale is up front, that means you will need the likes of Ramsey to step up well. Dan James didn't really do anything in the last game, so much more that it was stopped at halftime. You need these guys to step up. You need them to give your best game. You need them to really come up with their A game. Remember, there are holes in the Iranian defense to pick. If they can do just that, I think they will beat them and beat them well, maybe by 2 or 3 goals. But if they are not careful, Iran showed they can score goals. So if you snooze, you will definitely lose in this game. But so the big game in the group has to be England versus USA. The last time these two teams met at the World Cup, it ended in a draw. Even though the friendly match they played last was a big winning for England 3-0. All their friendly matches actually glad I've won it. But when it mattered at the World Cup, it ended in a draw. Both of them were in Group C in that tournament. So this time around, the USA probably maybe not as strong as they were there. But this time around, these boys are not scared of anything. Remember that US Joe Biden also called the team, encouraging them, telling them, well, you may be the underdogs in this group, but give your best to show the world what you are made of. And against Wales, they did just that. Against a more solid, strong England side, they won't have to do much more. Remember, before that win, this was England's first win after 6 games, losing 4 and drawing 2. It could ginger them to do much more. And Harry Kane to get on the score sheet. There were talks of injury, but he trained the last time, so we don't know if he'll play, start this game, or if he'll come off from the bench. England are a better side. The win against Iran could ginger them. The young boys getting on the score sheet, you Bellingham, Bukayo Saka, even Raheem Sterling scoring his first World Cup goal. They are strong, they are solid, but you don't know what to expect from the United States of America boys. But I still think the English Three Lions should still do enough to pick up all 3 points in this game. So for Qatar and Senegal, I think it will end in I don't know which one to pick. But I think I'll give the game a draw, and I won't be shocked if Qatar pick up all 3 points in this game. And Netherlands versus Ecuador, I root for Netherlands to win this game, or as well a draw. For the Group B games, Wales, I believe they will do enough to pick up 3 points against Iran, and the USA against Three Lions of England. I don't know. My heart tells me USA or a draw, and my brain tells me England. But sometimes you have to go with your brain. So I think I'll go with all 3 points for Three Lions of England. So thank you very much, guys, for watching today's special edition of Inside to Bolo Inshallah. Please like, share, and subscribe. So we come away again tomorrow. Have a beautiful day. Goodbye.